top. Madden boys and girls, how we doing? Phillip Rivers slinging dots out here against the KC defense. That's a big matchup. We have a ton of big matchups that have happened. Now going to be happening. I mean, we are in week 14, so the playoff crunch is it's getting down to the wire, man. Every game matters on both divisions. So let's talk about some of the bigger upsets that have occurred. Falcons, everybody knows Falcons won the title belt in a crazy game against the Saints, dropping 45 points. So that's probably the big thing to learn. Obviously, that's a really good offense in Atlanta in terms of ratings and skills. So this is probably the first time that Danny's defense has really struggled there. So big win there, but doesn't change the scope of the NFC. Still the 1 seed. The Ravens are on the come up right now. If we're talking about who's hot and who's not, the Ravens are absolutely hot. Come from behind win against Houston, dropping the 51 burger on the Niners. So big wins there. Saquon killing it as always since the last update. The issue is he can only go 156 more yards until week 17. So that's about 3-4 games worth, and he's almost capped out. So what's the move? They're trying to make a playoff push. They're 7-5. Let's go over, kind of look at the divisions here, the division standings. So in the AFC, the Jets lead the way 11-1. They've been killing it. Yeah, they took a tough loss to the Giants, but once again, you're just trying to get in there and learn as much as you can about your run defense and against superstars, and then how you are in adversity. So the one loss I'm not too concerned about. The Chargers, after their first head-to-head matchup with the Chiefs, they come out victorious. So they're 10-2, so they sit comfortably at the 2 seed. The Ravens, like we said before, they've been killing it, and they're firmly ahead of the Bengals, who have dropped 2 games. So Ravens 9-3. Then the Texans and the Titans are actually tied. Now, Titans has probably had more of the cupcake schedules, but he's got the Texans twice and the Saints coming up, not to mention Derek, who has been, one of the more up and down teams, but without a doubt can hang with the top competition at any given moment. Has given Warren a run for his money, gave myself a run for my money, beat Pest. Obviously, that was the internet. The Raiders ain't nothing to play with. So if they can, the Titans are in fear of going 8-8, or if they can come out victorious, they can finish 12-4 here. So Texans can kind of control their fate because they have 2 games in that matchup. The wild card, it's looking like, once again, Tennessee, depending on how these next 4 games go. The Chiefs are probably the top wild card team. Whoever wins or loses that division between the Chargers and the Chiefs is probably going to be the top wild card. And then, like I said, the Titans, the Texans, Bengals, and the Colts are the teams fighting for the last NFC wildcard spot. So on the NFC side, we talked about the loss for Danny. So we have 2 11-1 teams leading each division. Once again, nobody's really too concerned. Drew Brees is putting up MVP numbers at the quarterback position. He's already at 40 touchdowns. So smooth sailing for New Orleans as long as they can stay healthy. The Eagles, surprisingly at 9-3, they had a blowout win. Shutout victory against the Patriots. They played extremely well. Their big loss came against the Packers, who have struggled, so they may not even have to worry about seeing Green Bay again. But as long as they can handle themselves, it's such a good roster, and Donnie's been playing extremely well with guys like Nelson Aguilar coming off a Player of the Week. Niners take another loss, a couple losses. I don't know if they're on the way down. I know one of those losses was against Green Bay without Jimmy Garoppolo, who was suspended. So as we actually see a highlight of one of their big plays to get back in that game and take it to overtime. So being able to play through adversity like that shows a lot for the Niners. Yeah, they just took a tough loss, but they're a really solid defense, and I think they'll figure it out. So they sit at the 3rd seed. And then the 4th seed, the leader of the NFC North, is the Chicago Bears. They just won their game against the Cowboys, so they're looking good and pretty clear. They do have to watch out for the Vikings, who have a wild card spot at the moment. Very well could come up there and sneak a win and find themselves in a division, forcing the Bears into the wild card. So, and they sit at 7-5. And then the Giants, like you mentioned, they're one of the top wild card teams in the NFC. But they got to be careful because their entire offense runs through Saquon. And if they think they're going to make a playoff push and they can only get 157 yards with Saquon, then they're in trouble. So that's huge. The Packers sit there at 6-6. The Seahawks sit there at 7-6. So the Niners are probably not in fear of losing the division, but the Seahawks, they're battling up right in there with this playoff hunt. And then everybody else after that is under 500. So MVP, not much has changed in some of the MVP races. Once again, it's Saquon, but we don't know how the next couple of weeks will change that. Melvin Gordon's next in line, the defensive and offensive Saints player, Cam Jordan, Drew Brees, and then Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. So, lots of big games to look out for. Make sure you guys are keeping in touch in the stream chat, keeping up on the website, looking at all these things, because that's where all the up-to-date information is going to be. Hope you enjoy these highlight videos. Thanks you guys for submitting. Sorry if I missed some clips. There was some stuff going on and some clips weren't working correctly and downloading correctly. So that's how it is. So I'll let this kind of roll out here and then catch you guys next time.